Main event. Panamania continues here at the Sortis Hotel Spa and Casino in Panama City. 3 players remaining from the 366 who started. That means 50% of the players we started with today, 50% of the final table is gone. Remaining, Kenneth Smaron, he's the chip leader with 84 bigs. Denis Timofeev, he has 27 big blinds, and Harpreet Gill with 26 bigs. Very much a case of the have and the have-nots. I am James Hartigan. He is Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my babies. You know, every time you say Sortis Hotel, it sounds like you're saying Sordid Hotel, and it kind of checks out.
For you, definitely. So here we go. The next level, blinds 40,000, 80,000 with a 10,000 ante. So now, I think pretty much for the first time today, we are playing less than a 50 big blind average. But as previously mentioned, all the chips have gone in one direction recently.
Quite recently.
And here is what they're playing for. Everyone now guaranteed 161K. Runner-up, 218,000, 294,000. Near enough 300K for the eventual winner. Plus only the second PokerStars Championship main event trophy. Remember, we are cards up on a 45-minute delay. And unusually, and it's because it's Panama, we are delayed as well. So the pictures and the commentary today, 45 minutes from when you're seeing it. So sadly, we don't read your tweets until 45 minutes after you've sent them. Something like that.
No, we read your tweets immediately, but you're referencing something that happened 45 minutes ago.
Who would have thought you'd be the one to get that right?
I think this entire stop in Panama can be summed up in 2 words. Panama stories.
How many do you think we'll actually get through on the next edition of the podcast?
I mean, I think we could probably, do we have other house cleaning to take care of on the show? Because we could probably do a whole show.
I mean, other than a super fan, I've literally got nothing booked for next week's show. And I'm kind of the opinion that,
as a guest?
Well, I'm actually thinking, do we basically just say no guest next week and we just basically go to town on Panama City?
I think probably.
A Panamania special?
It might be worth having one of these guys on if they win.
Why are you sitting so far away?
I get a better overview of everything that's happening.
Just in order to talk to you, I have to, like, do this, and it just, you know.
Also, like, being forward and hunched over the whole time, my shoulders are on fire.
I hear you. So they have played 123 hands so far at this final table. This is hand 124. We get a raise from Ken Smaron with the King 8 and a defend from Harpreet Gill with the Queen 9 suited. Gill pairs his Queen on the flop, takes the lead.
You know, I had an idea for a competition we could maybe do even though we're in Delaysville.
Continuation bet from Smaron.
See what happens in this hand.
Gill calls the 80,000. Turn card is the 4 of hearts. Action goes check, check, and the river is an 8. So Smaron catches a small piece on the river.
Matt, do you think we're going to interview that guy? Because if not, I'm going to tell people about him because I think it's worth talking about. Okay.
Okay, this has gone check, check on the river. Gill shows the winner, adds 300K to his stack.
The guillotine. Ka-chunk.
Now second in chips. He's 40 years old. He's from Vancouver.
Oh, he didn't even play. Couldn't even trap him. Couldn't even trap him.
He has had a few results in recent years, including a couple of deep runs in a WPT in Montreal. He's also had results in the Netherlands and the Bahamas, about $50,000 in live tournament earnings.
I've heard.
And now guaranteed at least 161K.
I've heard that he has results in both Holland and the Netherlands.
So, Joe, what is your idea for a competition that will work with the aforementioned 45-minute delay?
I thought it might be kind of fun if we... I was walking to the bathroom and I was like thinking about like if we could afford to have licensed music
Right.
at the final table, it would be cool. I think we might have done this one before, but I'm getting people's opinions again. Taste change. It would be cool if we could afford licensed music to play entrance music for the players as they make it to the final table, you know, as they come in and get introduced. So what I think we could do is just for 5 minutes, I'm going to open up Twitter, hashtag PokerStarsTV. Give me a poker player and what you think their entrance music should be. And if it tickles me, I'll send you a prize. We got some stuff to give away. And then for about 5 minutes, we can read through them. I mean, here in real time, we'll take about 15 minutes. But for 5 minutes, I'll accept submissions. So you say something like, Phil Ivey and There Goes My Hero by Foo Fighters. So send me a poker player and a song. Give me a title and artist so I can be sure I know who you're talking about. And between me and James and Matt, we should have most songs covered.
Okay, so someone set their alarm so we know that in 45 minutes' time we should start looking for submissions. Hashtag PokerStarsTV on Twitter. Confirmed, by the way, that at the end of this level, in 1 hour and 25 minutes' time, we will take our dinner break, 60 minutes, during which time you can see highlights of the final table so far. Of course, that is assuming that we get to the end of this level. Game could end at any time.
Hey, at least I don't have to be on standby during the dinner break this time around.
The last hand was raise and take it for Smaron after he got a walk the hand before. Here he's got King-Jack suited. So Ken Smaron, originally from Philadelphia, USA. He is a online high-stakes sit-and-go legend. He relocated after Black Friday, divides his time between Costa Rica and Colombia. He's also got some great results in online MTTs. He earned a scoop title 2 years ago.
I'm a little embarrassed I haven't heard of this guy.
He's had several six-figure online scores since, plus he's had some big live results. Back in Prague in 2015, took down the 10K high roller, cashing for nearly 600,000 euros.
Well, he's flopped huge here.
Absolutely, he has flopped the second nuts. Not much for Gill to get excited about, and we can see he's drawing stone cold dead. The irony is, the hearts are irrelevant. Smaron would still be crushing this if it was just the king.
What is happening now? Is that the same sandwich guy? It's not, right?
Different sandwich guy. There are multiple sandwich guys in the tournament arena today.
All white people look the same to me.
Sandwiches are a very popular snack in Panama. In fact, I think the sandwich is the second most popular lunch food after the tamburrito.
I had a doozy of a tamburrito last night. I actually had a taco tamburrito. It was a tamburrito in a hard shell taco. You guys are going to want to check this out, by the way. Look at that.
This is a gentleman watching the final table from the rail who has had the PokerStars Championship logo shaved into the back of his head.
He is not only watching the final table, though. From what I understand, there may or may not have been some adult content on his phone, which is why we had to cut away so quickly.
Online gambling. So, hand 128. Ace-8 against 9-7, a 4-deuce-deuce flop.
Good flop for you.
Timofeev continues, takes it down. So nothing's really changed from where we started this level. Smaron's still the massive chip leader with 85 bigs. Pretty much a 3-1 chip lead over the other two players. Timofeev and Gill tied at 26 big blinds apiece. Puts them in a tough spot, of course, because there is the small consideration of the difference in prize money between third and second. 161K versus 218K. And this is a situation where if I'm Gill, I'm actually going to play really, really tight, because I think that Timofeev has absolutely shown no fear in taking on Smaron again and again. They've had numerous post-flop clashes, and I just feel that there's more of a chance that Timofeev busts by playing big pots against Smaron and just wait for an opportunity to get it in with a big hand pre.
I think that's all you can do in his situation. You do need to tread water. You do need to stay afloat. I don't think you can afford to just give up every blind because they're coming around so fast.
Sure, but again, I'm not sure I'd be opening the button with King 4 suited. And maybe that's wrong. Maybe this is the correct strategy, but
I think King 4 suited, you have to. But then again, if you're just going to get 3-bet and have to fold.
This is the problem. You can't call that 3-bet even in position because you just haven't got the chips to speculate with. Smaron moves over the 7 million mark, closing in on 90 bigs. He's on the button now. And he's raising, gets a fold from Timofeev. Smaron's hand is ace-king. Gill with 10-4 suited.
He is not listening to you, my friend.
Defends. Classic flop for ace-king. 7 trade deuce.
See, once you get yourself into a position where you have fewer chips than Timofeev, he doesn't have to do that much. He's smart enough to know to just let you keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so Gill actually catches a 4 on the turn. Now has the best hand and looks like he wants to bet it. Smaron has picked up a wheel draw, plus his ace and his king are both live. He calls the 165,000, and this hand's going to the river. Boom. It's the ace.
Gross.
Assuming that Smaron value bets here, no. I really hope Gill doesn't level himself into doing one of his classic hero calls.
No, come on. There's straights out there, flushes, ace, other overcards. A strong breeze could beat you in this pot. He did.
See, unfortunately, I've got to know this player quite well. Smaron gets an extra 200,000 and Gill sees his stack shrink to 1.35 million. He's down to 16 bigs now.
He's won another flip. Let's flip again. Harpreet.
Well, Kenny's got 95 big blinds right now.
Kenny Powers is on top of the world.
Denis Timofeev folds 10-7 on the button. He is going to be acutely aware of Gill's shrinking stack.
Oh
Queen,
boy.
deuce, and he sticks it in. And Smaron folds a better hand, but queen 9 off. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Gets a little bit back, hovering around the 18 big blind mark now.
I think if Gill gets it in pre-flop and doubles up again, though, that Timofeev might just lose his mind.
Well, Gill's going to be first to act here. He's on the button. 10 deuce off, he passes. Smaron in the small blind. Raises it up. Queen 6 off. Denis Timofeev is in the big blind with a better queen, Queen Jack. So Timofeev is a very accomplished player. Now, he qualified online for this event. He was actually the first player to win a package, or one of the first players to win a package for this tournament in Panama. He's had numerous results in side events on our tour. He's had numerous results online where he plays as new flat. He's considered to be one of Russia's top online MTT grinders. His scores include a six-figure Super Tuesday title and a third-place finish in a Sunday Million. He was the chip leader coming into this final table. He's facing a continuation bet from Smaron of 160,000.
Queen Jack is going to be pretty good here, a fair percentage of the time. Unfortunately, you know that you're going to be facing multiple streets. It's very likely you will be. Of course, you're hoping for a cheap showdown.
Smaron bears his 6 on the turn.
So maybe he slows down now.
Domination, rotation. Check, check, and the 7 of clubs on the river. I don't think either player's overly happy about this board.
I think this goes check, check a lot.
Well, Smaron is going to win at showdown. And Smaron is now playing 100 big blinds. He has got 8 million chips. Close enough. Both Timofeev and Gill have sub-20 big blind stacks. Both edging into the danger zone.
Danger zone!
Thank you, Joe.
Double danger zone.
Let's see what I get for that. We have a double danger zone situation.
Double danger zone! They don't do danger zone on Archer anymore. It's all about the phrasing now.
Ace-3 suited for Smaron. Wow.
Open shoves. One of these shorties gonna wake up with a hand? Oh, maybe. Look at that smirk.
Pocket 6s.
Here, did you push? Yeah.
Tell your friends, get them involved, then call.
I think you have to call.
You do have to call. Smaron's probably not open shoving many hands that have 6s crushed. Yeah, count them out. See how much you'd be left with after your call. In In they go.
Calls all in, and he gets it in as a favorite. Sixes against ace-3.
Yeah.
We could be going heads up.
Well, there's a 66% chance that Gill doubles up again, and as you predicted, Timofeev loses his mind. But yes, if Smaron hits an ace, more than 1-3, or a bunch of hearts, or a wheel, we will be heads up here in Panama. I'm going to guess those guys are Smaron supporters.
They're not, actually. They're definitely Gill's friends. 3 spades, that's pretty good.
Great flop for Gill. Takes away one of Smaron's outs. Ace of diamonds, ace of clubs are the immediate cards he can hit.
And one more spade takes away all of Smaron's outs. The crowd didn't know what to do. That's a spade.
So Gill has his opponent drawing dead on the turn. He gets another double up. We play on 3-handed.
Yo, T, turn.
I want to be a Gillionaire.
Yo.
So
Your guys when you're
bad.
No, I was gonna do it anyways. My fault.
But you shouldn't do it
Okay.
while you're until you make a decision. You shouldn't do that. How much?
Kenny Smaron calling him out on the etiquette violation, conferring with his rail before he decided whether to call or not.
148.
Yeah, he's got a point.
So Smaron still monster chip leader, 80 big blinds, still better than a 2-1 advantage over Gill, who's now up to 37 big blinds, meaning that Timofeev is the player at immediate risk with 18 bigs.
Do we think that Harpreet Gill has learned his lesson now that he's got 37 big blinds and can just wait out?
This
Denis
is what I've been
Timofeev?
saying all afternoon. Just sit back, let the other two go to battle.
I think 6 million something.
Maybe he's finally figured it out. He should ask his rail. Not
They
during a
have
hand.
less than 20 big blinds. They both have less than 20 big blinds there.
Luca Vivaldi just keeping an eye on things, making sure no one steps too far out of line. Joe, you've talked a number of times on this trip, on the stream, about some of those fun events at the Hippodrome that we like to play, like the 200-pound, 250-pound tournaments. I remember one of those Hippodrome events, Luca was actually running it. He was the tournament director for that event. And I witnessed a player just losing his mind over a ruling, which was a fair ruling, but obviously something he wasn't aware of. And Luca was called over as obviously the senior member of the floor staff. And this guy was just giving it to him both barrels. I mean, every adjective he used began with F. And Luca just stood there calmly and accepted it.
Going in good,
And the guy is literally in his face, finger pointing. And Luca just remains calm, professional,
Love that.
polite. I'm just like, that is just, I take my hat off to him because I just wouldn't be able to deal with it.
In a way, that's Luca's way of fighting back, though, because you know when someone approaches you like that and puts their finger in your face and shouts at you and it just bounces off of you, that's nearly as infuriating to them as giving it back.
Smaron completes in the small blind. Timofeev in the big has ace-jack of clubs.
This is, you know, again, more interestingly, maybe is how Timofeev is going to decide to handle this, because against other players, you'd be like, okay, they just doubled up. I now have to sort of be on the defensive / offensive occasionally. But knowing that Gill has the tendency to put himself right back in that same position, you can maybe, even though it's not typical, you can maybe wait him out, even though he has twice the stack you have.
This is hand number 136.
You know, I love the sound of this poker room right now. It sounds like everybody's having a really good time on the rail. People are drinking.
160.
I think most people will agree that this has been a really fun stop. Every time I've run into players downstairs, I haven't been outside much, but out, you know, everyone seems to be having a really good time here.
Agreed.
And I was very excited for this stop. I was excited for them to add new stops. That's why, even though I was sad to see the EPT go, you know, I was ready for a change. And this is exactly what I was looking for. And I know it's not all about me, but I'm pretty happy.
Write down the time and date, people. Joe Stapleton just admitted it's not all about him.
Gill releases that pot. Smaron jams deuces into the big blind. Timofeev, who folds.
I played free.
That's what I thought you had last time when you went all in.
What I have?
No,
Matt,
I
how
thought
long
you
till
had,
we start getting those competition
yeah,
answers
no,
coming
you had
in?
like lower than my pair.
21 minutes?
A3 makes sense.
Man, 45 minutes is forever.
It's like, just don't turn over sevens. That's what I was thinking. Like, just like
I would have loved to turn over sevens with a spade.
it was like fours, fives, or something like that. Maybe I saw 3 twos, 3 fours.
Smaron on the button. Raises with Jack-3 offsuit. Timofeev is in the small blind. Oh, hello, he's got aces.
Man, I really hope something terrible doesn't happen to him. So far, I think the most terrible thing that's probably going to happen is he's going to jam, and he's going to get 2 folds, which should continue to erode his sanity. I think this is one of those situations where you know if you don't jam and you just 3-bet that it's going to look crazy suspicious, but you don't care. You just want the action. Smaron's going to be opening his button super light. Wonder if you ever just call here. Just get real risky.
If that were to happen, I just have a horrible vision of Gill thinking, this is a great time for me to squeeze.
He's got a 3-bet.
Yeah. 450,000. King 5 off for Gill. I imagine he'll muck that. Now, how's Smaron going to respond? Oh, he's folded.
Frustrating.
I had the 4-bet alert on standby just in case.
That's the 4-bet alert, and also the #1 hit single in Panama right now, air horn. All I can do is picture a kid like picking his instrument in elementary school, like what he's gonna learn, and his parents are like, "What is it? You need violin, trumpet, piano?" And he's like, "No, air horn." And then he becomes a mega millionaire superstar. He's at like the biggest parties in Ibiza and Sao Paulo, being like,
Would you like to hear the genuine article again?
But you need the one you can stagger. That's literally one note.
6-5 for Timofeev. And he limps. Gill with ace-3 in the small. Complete. Are we going to see a family pot? Or can Smaron check his option in the big blind? He's got Jack-9. Sure enough, all 3 players going to the flop. And that flop is King, Queen, Tray.
Misses everybody except for the bottom pair. Gut shot for Smaron.
Timofeev with a couple of backdoors. Trying to think positively about this. Well, the guy with the least amount of equity is doing the betting, 100,000. Gill has called. Smaron calls. We still have 3 players as we go to the turn. Queen pairs the board. Gill now a 62% favorite.
Good news for Gill is even if he gets counterfeited, he's still got the best hand.
Action checks around. River card is a 4.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Not
a little
enough.
too late. Smaron gonna take a stab.
Busted straight draw. Well, we know that Gill loves a hero call. This will be one of the rare occasions when he's right. 330,000. And he calls.
Wow. Oh, man.
I'm intrigued to know what's in that bag.
3 extra sets of balls.
Mid-hand, he keeps looking over at his guys. I was just watching. Mid-hand, he keeps looking over at his guys. Behind him. Yeah, he does. Right before he falls. Right now. I mean, I just watch everything. I just don't trust him. And I know.
So 4 hours ago, we gave you an update on the 10K high roller, aka the beard high roller. We've only just lost our 4th place finisher, Chris Hunishan. He was down to 1 big blind. So he is out, leaving 3 beards remaining in the tournament. And those 3 beards are Sam Greenwood, Francois Billard, and Steve O'Dwyer. And they are still playing in absolute silence.
Steve O'Dwyer, what an animal. What an absolute animal. By the way, Chris Hunichin, you know how these trips you end up seeing the same poker player? There's always one poker player you see like 400 times. That's him for me on this trip. I've been in the elevator with him 10 times.
I don't know if you noticed, Joe, but just before we went out to look at the high roller, Ken Smaron called over Luca Vivaldi and complained about the fact that once again, Gill is like looking to his rail and signaling to his rail before he's acting. Now, obviously, we know that the stream is on a 45-minute delay. We know that no information is leaking out there and they couldn't be telling him anything, but it's the whole one player to a handle,
they can't
right?
tell him anything about the stream, but it still doesn't mean it doesn't somewhat violate the rules if they told him anything at all, regardless of their information and access to it. I seemed like he did it after the call was made on that hand. And I can understand being irritated by that anyway. Every time a guy beats you in a pot, immediately him looking past you and yelling to his rail.
I think there's a certain amount of that, but also I do think that Gill is kind of like looking to them to kind of make sure they're paying attention when he does something.
Right.
I don't think there's anything malicious about it. Anywho.
But yeah, like I said before, Smaron's got a point.
Well, he's raised the button here with ace-7. Ooh, Timofeev has him dominated with ace-9.
They don't need to have hole card information to be able to help him. Just simple ICM dynamics, you know, they could influence his decisions that way. I don't think they have.
And that is an all-in.
What's homeboy got?
Queen 3 of hearts.
Gill. Harpreet. There you go.
Count, please.
Doug.
Count, please. I do think that Timofeev would shove worse aces than ace-7.
$1,405,000.
Oh, you hate calling here with ace-7, though.
He probably would shove ace-6 and ace-5. He is going to call dominated.
So, Denis Timofeev is at risk, but it is Domination Nation, and he is the dominator.
7-9.
And once again, we find ourselves in a situation where if Smaron gets lucky, we are going heads up.
It's been a while since we've seen a brutal, brutal suck out. Pour some for the Penguin.
No, I don't get it.
On this occasion, it is not coming 7, at least not yet. Timofeev has to fade a 7 on the turn or river to survive. Turn card is another ace, so there are some opportunities now. A 40% chance of a split pot, but crucially, Timofeev is only eliminated if one of the 3 7s in the deck hits the river. The river is a deuce. Ace-9 holds, and Timofeev gets the double up. Well, the stacks have evened out now.
Yeah, they have.
Smaron is still the chip leader with 60 bigs. Gill's got 40 bigs. Timofeev has 36 bigs.
Poker, man. What a weird game.
Still 50 minutes to play on this level. A reminder, we will take the dinner break at the end of level 28. Picked up 9s here, raises the button to 160,000. Gill with 9-8 folds. A6 suited for Smaron. He defends. The flop, Jack 8-5.
This has suddenly become anybody's game again. This is nuts.
It's insane.
You look at this scoreboard and you're like, oh, yeah, Smaron's got this locked up. One baby stack, one medium stack. If he knocks out the medium, it's game over. All of a sudden, everyone's pretty much even again. Crazy.
Ah, got the answer to my question. He keeps his phone in there. It's a big phone case.
Gilly, big phone.
Just went check, check on the flop and on the turn. Smaron has checked for a third time. Timofeev bets river and gets a fold. $58 bigs, 40 bigs, 39 bigs. Reminder of the payouts. Third place, 161,000. Second place, 218,000. The winner, 293,860. I think Denis needs to toilet. I hear you, buddy. I can't get through an entire level of poker without going to the bathroom at least once, if not twice.
I mean, Dennis is drinking beer. You'd be 4 or 5 trips.
Ace Jack suited for Smaron. He raises small to big. Timofeev defends with 5-4 of diamonds. Well, there's 1 diamond. Make that 2 diamonds.
And a pair for Smaron.
Second pair, top kicker. So roughly 60-40. Smaron first to act. And he continues. $255,000. Board gets straightier on the turn. The 10 of spades.
Guess what else it gets?
Flushier.
Yeah.
Smaron picks up the nut flush draw to go with second pair. Plus he has a gut shot. Timofeev still drawing to a diamond.
Timofeev obviously has to see the river. Only one player can make a flush. Neither one does. What a bummer. What a bummer of a river for Timofeev with 5 high. Now he's facing the proposition of knowing he's going to lose at showdown or having to possibly bluff an unbluffable hand. This is a more difficult decision than a presidential election. Both options terrible.
Can you imagine if he shoves here? Saw the situation reversed yesterday where Smaron put the pressure on Timofeev and he made a huge call. And now
This is awesome.
it's a reversal.
Wow.
And he folds the best hand. The
Gets it
bluff
through.
gets through.
Man, that is just the heart of a lion right there. That is the kind of move that us bad players are never going to be able to make, or we're going to make the sizing wrong.
Well, something significant happened there.
Yeah.
Timofeev took the chip lead. Kenneth Smaron is now second in chips after at one point having near enough a 3-1 lead over the rest of the field. More than 50 bigs for Timofeev, 46 bigs for Smaron, 40 bigs for Gill. Very close, anyone's game. Still 42 minutes to play at the 40-80 blind level.
You think you had a king probably, or an 8.
The next blind level will be 50,000, 100,000. That'll be post-dinner.
Dinner, it's what's for dinner. Hungry and tired after a long day of playing poker at a final table in Panama? Might I suggest filling your stomach with dinner? Dinner comes with a variety of nutritious and delicious food.
Timofeev calls in the small blind. Gill checks his option. He's got the Russian dominated.
Dinner, the official sponsor of the PokerStars Championship.
Oh, wow. It's all diamonds. Timofeev with the flush. Nada for Gill. Does he fancy calling with king high? Nope. Folds to the bet of 80,000.
No action. A feeling I know incredibly well. All right, Phil Hellmuth, Kids in America. Gill, All I Do Is Win. Doug Polk, Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys. I like this one, Mike Tentali, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That's solid. Put that on the list.
Queen 10-6 on the flop. All 3 players in this pot.
Read some more of these. By the way, I'm only going to accept them for 5 minutes.
Timofeev with the best hand here. He paired his 10. Jack on the turn. See Smaron take the lead.
Who's got the big draw here, though? Gill?
Gilly, and he gets that.
Gilly gets there. 4 diamonds on board, though. No value. James has been tickled. We'll find out by what after the showdown. Oh, we can't read it.
I'm not going to read any tweets by people who tag at PokerStars TV or send direct messages to at PokerStars TV.
Oh, I see.
People who can't tell the difference between an @handle and a hashtag annoy me, and therefore are not deserving of our attention.
Benny says Doyle Brunson, Cowboys from Hell. Spear likes Howard Lederer in the Imperial March. That's not bad.
Wow, look at this. None of the players has a 50 big blind stack now. And Timofeev and Gill are pretty much tied for the chip lead on 3.8 million apiece. Smaron not that far behind with 3.3 million.
Jamie Staples, the land of the Maples. pretty good. Will Kassouf's walk-on music would be Talk Talk by Talk Talk. Not bad. Oh, Maureen says Will Kassouf would be Black Eyed Peas, Shut Up.
Gotta love the peas.
By the way, I didn't even read Matt's. It was Gill. Gill would be Papa's got a brand new bag, which is very good. That would make my list, Matt. You're a sharp one.
He did have 45 minutes to think about it, to be fair. Russians drinking beer and eating crisps. Today was a good day.
Danny Hobo says Mike McDonald will come out to Old McDonald Had a Farm. There was actually an episode of the EPT years ago where I sang Mike McDonald's actions to the tune of Old McDonald. It was one of those moments where I couldn't believe they let that go.
Queen 7 against 9-6. Blind on blind. Unraised pre. Pair of 7s for Timofeev. He bets. Gut shot for Gill. And he calls.
Francesca has submitted a bajillion times, but she's starting to get to the gold. Vicky Corin Mitchell, 3 times a lady. I got 2 head nods from James and Matt. I'll put you on the short list for now.
Strictly speaking, she only won twice.
Yeah, but she would be going for her 3rd.
Yeah.
Wow, James hit you with a strictly speaking, and I shot him down for you. You know how hard that is to do?
Still prefer her Daniel Negreanu suggestion, to be honest.
Well, lots of people have done that one.
She was the first.
Do you know this song, Matt? This I might need Matt for this one, because Benny says Bill Perkins would come into Eminence Front by The Who. Yeah, a little too obscure, brother.
I was going to say, you're falling into Lee Jones territory now, assuming that Matt knows every single song that has a guitar on it. Gill has just taken the chip lead, ladies and gentlemen. 50 big blinds for the Canadian. A stack of 4 million. I mean, the chip lead is pretty much changing with every hand at the moment. That's how close they are. And no one has yet brought up the D subject.
Interesting. Good point. You think they just haven't thought about it?
I don't know. I think you're more likely to see deal negotiations between Timofeev and Smaron. I think there might be an expectation that they want to get rid of the amateur before they start talking about a chop. I mean,
good luck with that. He's the chip leader.
Exactly. Although, as I said, it is changing regularly because they're all so close. The one thing I will say is that in 30 minutes, we go to dinner. When we come back from dinner, the blinds go up again, and they become a whole lot shallower. I mean, we're already at a situation where they're shallower than they should be, and when variance plays a major factor, that's when players really want to start looking at that prize money.
When we come back from dinner, which is what's for dinner? Peter Blow says Andre Latau should come out to 7 by Prince, while Danny Hobo says he should come out to 7 Nation Army by the White Stripes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and another guy says he should come out to the Magnificent 7 by the Clash.
Well, what about the theme from the Magnificent 7 by Elmer Bernstein? There you go, there's my suggestion.
Strictly speaking, I have nothing to follow that up.
But I'm trying, though. Words that Joe often hears.
Can you read that one? Matt Broughton, does he win everything? Am I just going to give Matt all the prizes? Aha. Eric Cagelet, Splish Splash. Yeah. Good one. Matt's always got to bring up my heart. My heart breaks.
Ace, queen, 7 on the flop. Two pair for Timofeev. And yeah, Gill's better when he doesn't have a lot of chips.
All right, that might be it. That might be it for the suggestions. I said 5 minutes. We've been looking at them for 5 minutes. Read a couple more that just came in. Dan Coleman, theme music from Jaws. Peter Blow again. Byron Caverman. I knew you were waiting for me.
Well, there's the raise from Timofeev. Only to be expected. Check raises to 500,000. Surely Gill is folding.
Look, he made a hero call that was right last time. You expect him to forget about that already? Crushed it. Got him. Hashtag got him.
He lets it go. Good move.
Good fold.
So now Timofeev reclaims the chip lead.
I don't know how to look at the tweets I favorited. Is it here? No.
Dude, cut it down.
Wow. Wow. I respect it. I respect the move.
Let's head back to the high roller, or as I like to call it, the Tournament of Beards. There is a trophy which says High Roller Champion. And the trophy is not ready to be presented yet. It's heads up between Greenwood and O'Dwyer, and they have asked to look at the numbers. So it looks like a deal's being done there. So obviously they will play it out for the trophy, but a chop is imminent in the high roller between O'Dwyer and Greenwood.
I think I'm going to give away a prize to everybody who I shortlisted. I'll go through them one more time. There used to be a way that you could look at the tweets you favorited, right?
Yeah, favorites. Is it gone?
Tweets and replies media.
Oh, they've changed it. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? What about on the old Twittery thing?
Tweetbot?
No, on the phone. There we go. I've still got likes. You look on your phone.
I don't use the Twitter app on my phone, but let me see if I'm logged in.
Wish they'd stop changing things.
Well, it's just annoying because the app I use is like quite expensive, and the functionality of it gets worse and worse.
Here it is. It's the heart.
Oh, it's the heart. I was looking for a star.
Yeah, but they changed it from a
like
star
years
to a
ago.
heart. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Congratulations to Rudy for Mike Dentale. Girls just want to have fun. Spear for Howard Lederer in the Imperial March. Michael Molinar for Jamie Staples, Land of the Maples. Ducklit Girl for Will Kassouf's walk-on music being Talk Talk by Talk Talk. And Francesca for Vicky Corin Mitchell, 3 Times a Lady.
What do they all win?
I'm going to give them all $11 in T-money because I think we have plenty of that to give away still.
Cool.
This is a sweet-ass Badoogie hand. Yeah.
Smaron versus Timofeev here. Second pair for Smaron. Timofeev has continued with ace high. Smaron calls. 175,000 apiece. Board pairs on the turn. 740,000 in the middle. Smaron checks a second time. Timofeev having raised pre and continued flop. Now decide whether to barrel turn.
Congratulations, guys. Thanks for participating in the competition. More competitions from Monaco. I promise.
Well, it did go check, check on the turn. Smaron checks river. And we saw Timofeev blow him off a hand a while back, but this time he elects to take the showdown value with ace high. Smaron will show the 8 and will win the pot, adding 395k to his stack. That sees him reclaim the chip lead. I think this is the closest it's been so far. 3.7 million for Smaron, 3.6 million for Gill, and 3.6 million for Timofeev. 47 big blinds versus 45 versus 45. With so much money in play and such big jumps between third, second, and first, and still no one's even floated the idea of looking at the numbers. The D word has not been discussed.
I believe dinner has been discussed. It is, of course, what's for dinner. Officially sponsoring this James Hardigan trip to the toilet. Brought to you by dinner. Have you ever had that feeling in your stomach of being hungry? Well, don't be hungry anymore. Try dinner. Clubs on clubs. 7, 8, 9. Top pair for Timofeev. What a battle this has turned into. What a battle. Smaron first to act.
Button's good.
Checks. Timofeev bets his top pair, gets a fold like a boss. So just 4 big blinds separating the top player and the bottom player.
Three-way all in for the lols.
Smaron, king 3 of hearts on the button.
Smaron raising here with king 3. Timofeev to act in the small blind. Well, he's folded already. It's Gill with the ace-king in the big blind.
Chris Cohen reminds us that today's dinner extra special sponsored by Canned Chicken.
It's a chicken in a can. 3-bet from Gill.
Absolutely guaranteed to cure your appetite.
No call from Smaron. Lets the king 3 go. So now Gill moves up to second in chips. Pretty much tied for the chip lead with Denis Timofeev.
$47, $47, $40. Those are the big blinds.
90 minutes left on the level.
Crazy town. Crazy.
8-4 of clubs. Raise with 8-4, a call from 7-6 of hearts. King 7 for Kenny Smaron. He calls as well, so all 3 players going to the flop.
Nobody a massive favorite.
No, and this is an interesting flop.
Yeah, it is.
A pair of 7s for Gill and Smaron. The flush draw for Timofeev.
Flush draw and a gutter ball.
Smaron with second pair. Strong kicker. He checks as well. Does Timofeev take a free card, or does he semi-bluff with his big draw?
I like a bet here.
225,000. Gill ain't folding second pair.
He may not fold second pair at all during this hand.
However, Smaron does fold. 225,000 apiece.
Smaron folds the best hand.
Timofeev now with a pair to go with his draw. Gill becomes a 70% favorite.
He's open-ended now. Hey, Gill, where's Bert and Sullivan? Huh? Where's Bert and Sullivan, Gill?
Again, I feel bad for laughing.
To be fair, you didn't actually ask. Strictly speaking, you just grinned.
I was laughing on the inside, Joe. It was a hearty chuckle
That's what
inside my
comedians
chest.
want, inside laughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're all aiming for.
Second barrel from Timofeev.
You have got him covered, my friend. Boy, this is intense. This is a big bet, by the way.
Yeah, 675,000 into a pot of 960,000. Tell you what, if Gill calls this, it's going to be a big pot. I mean, Timofeev is almost setting up a river shove, regardless of what comes.
He's raising.
What?
I mean, this could win him this pot without having to see a river.
Wow, raises it to 2 million. Do you think there is any chance that if Timofeev moved all in that Gill would fold?
No. No, I can't say there's no chance. I do not think that Gill would fold, but I can't say there's no chance. I think that not only is Timofeev never ahead. Oh, here we go. James Hart again, right once again. I think the few times he is ahead, he's going to be up against a bigger draw.
Oh, wow. He's not re-raising. He's just calling. 5 million in the middle. Both players with around 1.4 million behind, and the board is bricked out.
And they're nearly dead even in chips. Wow.
And Gill moves all in on the river for 1.46 million. He's got Timofeev covered.
This is why I think Timofeev, why I said he couldn't call.
He's not actually considering calling with a 4, is he?
I mean, he's put a lot of chips in this pot to just fold now.
No.
Yeah, there's nothing left in there, buddy. My heart's racing.
This is such an insane hand. Did not expect the raise from Gill on the turn. Certainly didn't expect Timofeev to call the raise.
You never bluff me?
Gill doesn't really bluff, does he? I mean, he may think he's bluffing here.
We saw Timofeev make a huge call towards the end of yesterday in a marginal spot, but
this hand played out much differently.
Much differently, and also this is not top pair. This is bottom pair.
This is the opposite of top pair.
He lets it go. He lives to fight another day. Leaves himself 17 bigs behind.
Of course he does.
Yeah, he had the best hand, guys.
Third pair. Third pair.
Same face показал.
I mean, at least Timofeev's got to feel better about the fold. Hey, look, Gary's on the rail. Meow.
Oh, bless the Canadians. It's just not really in them, is it?
Well, it reminds me.
Oh, Jesus. No, why? Why?
So 1 minute.
It's just that I don't know if some of our viewers, if anyone doesn't want me to tell the story of how Canada got its name, send me a tweet or a message on Twitch right now. I'll give you guys 5 minutes. If anyone objects in the next 5 minutes, I won't tell the story. But if not, I assume people want to hear it.
Am I allowed to tweet and say, please don't?
No, it has to be a listener.
I'm listening to you.
You don't count. Producer Chris hasn't heard it. Dave Tyler hasn't heard it. Anyone tweet. Go ahead. Let me refresh.
Button raise from Gill. A6 for Timofeev in the big blind.
Have we focused on how short he is now, by the way?
Yeah. Had 17 big blinds at the start of this hand.
We've had some great hands in this tournament. That was another one. That was a classic.
Agreed.
So if we have shoves.
Oh, is he going to get called?
Yeah, I don't think Gill folds this all the time.
I agree.
$1.4? 1.4, right? Total 1.4?
There's only 3 things I love in this world. My girl, my Gilly, and my beautiful bee garden. By Gilly, I mean guillotine. He's going to do it. He went for it.
He calls, putting Timofeev at risk. The start of day chip leader is all in and slightly ahead.
Shadalov can't believe it. What is that, Queen Jack?
If ace high holds here, he doubles
Got
up.
it in bad, but I knew I got it in bad.
If Gill hits one of his 2 live cards, we're going heads up.
Ace six.
He hasn't got it in that bad. Look at the percentages,
Yes.
56-44, almost a race.
Not
Feel it,
that
though.
bad.
Feel it. I've been winning my all-in.
Oh, man.
Huh?
He's riding the hot streak all the way to heads up, potentially. I've been winning my all-ins. That's some strat right there.
It's an ace high
Wow.
flop, but it's an open-ended straight draw for Gill. Timofeev survives unless a king or an 8 hits the turn or river. Same outs for Gill. Timofeev looking to fade that king or that 8. 8 cards that eliminate him from the tournament in 3rd place. The river card is a 7. He is safe. He doubles up. And we play on 3-handed.
Ace high does what ace high is supposed to do in that situation, somehow holds up. I did not have a good feeling about that.
I thought I was going to win that one.
Clearly.
Guilty. As
Yeah, it's all
charged.
good. Nice one.
So
Okay.
Gill still the chip leader with 62 big blinds.
Rob.
61 big blinds for Gill. 38 for Smaron. 35 for Timofeev after that hand. Ace king for Smaron. 2 10s for Timofeev. We could be racing. These guys have 35 big blinds each, so maybe it doesn't go all in before the flop, but whoo boy. Gill's out of the way. Smaron facing the 3-bet. Does he call in position or put in a 4th bet? Looking for confirmation of the raise size from Timofeev.
I think we know where this is going. I think we're going to get a 4-bet.
This whole final table, no, this whole 3-handed has been tense AF.
The open was to 160, the 3-bet 475. these stacks, there's no way he just calls here.
1.1 minutes.
4-bet alert. Big hand after big hand. And Smaron's made it so that Timofeev can't just call either.
Yeah.
Yo.
There's the shove and the call, and we're off to the races. Classic race underway at the final table. The tens of Timofeev racing against the ace-king of Smaron. Timofeev officially at risk. Smaron will be left with just 200K if he loses this. If Timofeev loses, we're down to 2. We're going heads up.
This is a sick race. This is like beef versus chicken.
Whoever wins this is going to be the chip leader. Gill's loving it a little bit too much.
Kenny Smaron looks like he is about to pass out.
This could well be the last hand before dinner, regardless of the result. It's a low flop, no ace, no king. Tens holding. Oh dear. The turn card is a deuce. Wheel draw alert. 10 outs now for Smaron. Aces, kings, and threes eliminate Timofeev.
In Smaron's position, you're happy you picked up outs, but you just have a terrible feeling.
10 cards for Timofeev to swerve on the river. The river card is a 3. And that will see the elimination of Denis Timofeev. The start of day chip leader goes out in 3rd place. We are going heads up here in Panama. Kenneth Smaron from the USA with a 75 big blind stack against Harpreet Gill from Canada with 60 big blinds.
This should be a very interesting heads up. I have no idea what to say about it, if it's going to be short or long, but I think that it is going to be far from standard. I do feel pretty bad right now for Denis Timofeev. I think that he has shown himself to be a world-class player throughout the course of this tournament. Sometimes you just got to flip.
They have confirmed, by the way, that Timofeev was covered by around 200,000. He is out in 3rd. He cashes for $161,340. That is the end of the level. That's the end of three-handed play. We go heads up when we come back from dinner in 60 minutes' time here on PokerStars TV. The PokerStars Championship Panama main event is down to 2. With the start of day chip leader exiting the arena, he is stunned, shocked.
Break.
I can't believe it, Vince.
Break.
Man, oh man.
So when we come back, blinds will be 50,000, 100,000 with a 10,000 ante. So actually that does change the dynamic slightly. Smaron with 60 bigs, Gill with 48 bigs. 6.1 million plays, 4.9 million. So please join us in 60 minutes time. Obviously, if you want to keep watching during our dinner break, we will keep you entertained with some of the highlights of the day so far. But hey, this could just be getting started. The battle begins. There's already been a little bit of bargee between them. Smaron versus Gill for the title here in Panama. Join us in an hour.